Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I missed you guys last week. If you're new here, before I forget, my name is Jessica. I'm a woman in long-term recovery, and I make videos on my channel about addiction and recovery, mental health that I can speak on, and all that stuff in between. And I wasn't here for you guys last week because my parents finally got to move their house and everything onto their property that they got. And it was kind of one of those situations where everything has to happen all at once, but we got it done for them. And they are so happy, and I'm so happy for them. So I was kind of busy, and I meant to put up something for you guys, just let y'all know what was going on, and I just kept forgetting. So that's on me. But I missed you guys. I hope everybody's doing good, and I'm glad to be back. I missed recording, but that was I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of that. And that kind of leads me into what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Let me move my microphone a little bit. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about gifts of recovery, because it's such a broad topic, but I think that when it comes to recovery, it's something that people don't, think about a lot, because gifts of recovery can be very little things, or they can be really massive things. And I know that when I got into recovery, I didn't really think about what a gift of recovery was. I just thought that my recovery was a gift enough. And I didn't really think of it as a gift for myself. I knew that I needed to straighten up and, for lack of a better way to put it, to get my shit in gear. I kind of did hit a rock bottom. The last day that I used that night, I stayed up that night, and I just prayed to God, pretty much just take me and kill me, or, help me find a way out of this. But I lost everything here, mentally and emotionally. I was so done, and I was just so broken and unhappy that I just didn't have the will in me to do it anymore. I didn't want to do anything anymore. I didn't want to live. My rock bottom for me when I got out of my active addiction and into recovery was more of a mental and emotional state of being. If you guys have followed me for a while, or you've ever heard me talk about the beginning of my recovery, you know that my recovery started within the rooms of NA. And if you've ever been to an NA meeting or an AA meeting or any 12-step meeting for that matter, you've probably heard people talk about the gifts of recovery, things that you start getting back when you get into recovery and you get yourself out of active addiction. And when I first started hearing about the gifts of recovery, I paid it very little mind. I was just focused on getting myself through the physical withdrawals, and I didn't really care about when I heard people that I was meeting in the recovery community talking about gifts of recovery. I didn't care. And when I did stop for long enough to think about it, I really just thought, well, any gift that I get, I want to give to Danielle, my daughter, because I just feel like I owe her everything. And I still feel that way, and a lot, because I was a single mom, and for almost all of her life, I was in active addiction. I just, I can remember vividly thinking that anything that I got that it would be considered a gift, that I, would want to be given to her, because I didn't understand what a gift of recovery was at the time. And now that I have several years of recovery under my belt, so to speak, I understand what gifts of recovery are. And, the biggest gift of recovery that I could give my daughter was me getting well and staying well and showing her that when I told her that I was going to get sober and stay sober, that I meant it. And, that when I told her I was going to show up for something and be there, that I was going to show up for something and be there. And that when I told her anything, that it was going to be the truth coming out of my mouth, and that she didn't have to worry about me showing up to a birthday party or whatever the case may be, and be high. So that was the biggest gift that I could give my daughter. But I learned as time went on and I got more sober time under my belt, and I learned, how to be comfortable in my own skin. I learned more about what gifts of recovery were. And I tell you what, last week was one of my favorite gifts of recovery that I've had in the entire time that I've been in recovery. And you guys have heard me talk about this a little bit before. My dad and I have a really close relationship now. My dad and I, and my stepmom and I. My stepmom has stepped in and been a mom to me and my older brother every time. I'm very blessed to have my stepmom, and I call her mom. She is mom to me. I love her very dearly. So last week when they got the call that they were going to be able to, move up to their property, as far back as I can remember in my life, I can remember my dad and my mom wanting to own property. And I can remember that, like from when I was little itty bitty, and I'm 41 now. So for them to be able to have that dream, oh God, it means so much to me. And so I was coming back from a doctor's appointment last Monday, and my dad and I were on the phone, and he was like, we can do it. We can do it this week, but it's kind of a deadline because the guy that is going to be helping us move some stuff, he only has a certain amount of time. He's fitting us into his schedule. And I was like, don't worry about it. We're going to get it done. And we got it done, y'all. And I'm so happy that we got that done. It's going to make me cry. Because, if I would have been still using, my dad probably wouldn't have called me, because we wouldn't have had a relationship like we have now. And yeah, I'm upset about it, but I'm not upset in a bad way. I'm crying because it makes me so happy that I could be there for them, and that they knew that they could call me, and that I would do anything I could to help them. And that makes me so happy. It made me so happy to be able to help them get their stuff packed up and, just help them move. And then once we got everything set up, there were a couple times that we would stop and take a break, or I would go outside, and, my dad would be outside doing stuff outside, and me and my mom and my sister-in-law were inside, trying to vacuum or move stuff up or whatever, so the guys could be bringing the furniture in. And I would be able to just look over and see my dad's face, or see my mom's face, and how friggin' happy they were. It's so happy. I'm so happy. But to be able to look over and, just catch them out of the corner of my eye, or, see how happy that made them. Keith and I spend a lot of time with them on the weekends, if we can. And we have big bonfires out there on the weekend. And when we're done and we're tired, Keith and I can go in the house and just stay overnight with them. And I can get up in the morning and have coffee with my mom and dad. And that is a massive gift of recovery to me. And, for everybody that's in recovery, your gift of recovery, your gifts of recovery, because there's so many of them. That's why I said, like, when I first got into recovery, I didn't pay it any mind and I didn't think about it. But it's little things. My daughter calls me all the time. We talk all the time. It's rare for us to go, more than 2 days without talking to each other. She calls me and is like, I'm going out of town, for the weekend. Will you come and take care of the cats for me while I'm gone? She trusts me in her house. I have a key to her house. If I was still in active addiction, she wouldn't give me a key to her house. It's things like that that are wonderful, wonderful gifts that you get when you're in recovery. My mom and dad, I have a key to their house. And because my dad and I went so long during both of our lives without having any contact with each other for a lot of reasons. But, my dad didn't know for a very long time that I struggled with addiction. And over the last couple years, since we've been building our relationship back up, my dad is very open. And he's a really good listener when I talk to him about it. And if he doesn't understand something, he just asks me questions. He is one of my biggest supporters. I know that he is watching this video right now. And my mom does the same thing. They watch all of my videos. They support everything that I do. Everything that I do. My daughter supports everything that I do. Keith supports everything that I do. It's hard to explain sometimes, but when I was packing stuff up last week for my mom and dad, my mom works third shift. That's hard. Like, I would not be able to work third shift. And if I did, I would be horrible to deal with. Nobody would want me around me because I would be so grumpy. But I had to make them lay down and take a nap because my mom and dad have been married for 40 years. Almost 41. Oh, crap. All right. I can't remember right now because the camera is on. But they've been married a long time. So when my mom got put on third shift, my dad will change his whole schedule. And when my mom is not at home, my dad doesn't sleep. So he changes his schedule to match hers. And, she does the same for him. So we were trying to get everything packed and everything. And you could just tell that they were both exhausted. It was a lot of stuff to pack up, a lot of physical labor. We had to tear down decks, etc. Anyway, I made them take a nap. And I was just trying to be quiet, but pack stuff up. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm so happy that I'm sober so that I can be here and present for them, that they would trust me, to pack their life up for them, that they could trust me to pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, we need your help. Because when I was in active addiction, that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened because I had such a massive wall that I kept, to keep people away from me. And, it was just very hard. I just wouldn't let people in close to me. So I have so many amazing, amazing gifts in my life because I'm in recovery. Was able to stop using, because for me that it had to be that I cannot use responsibly. I know that there are people that recovery is not their pathway, and for those people, I'm fine with that. And that's why I keep saying that I want to make a video about harm reduction, but there is a certain way that I want to make that video. And with harm reduction, you get so much backlash. There's so much stigma. There's so much misinformation and misunderstanding about harm reduction and safe consumption sites and things like that out there, that I really want to be careful about what I say in my video about harm reduction and safe consumption sites. So that's why I haven't done that one yet. It's a really important video and I really want to get on it and get it out there, but it's just been busy lately. So that's why I haven't done it. Also have Keith's daughter is getting married this week. So we have a lot going on in our personal lives. But again, that kind of goes back to, all of this is every single bit of this going on is a gift of recovery. I wouldn't have Keith in my life and all his wonderful family if I wasn't sober. If I was in active addiction, I would not have him. I wouldn't have his kids in my life. I wouldn't have my daughter in my life. I can turn off the camera right now and go outside and get my vehicle and go shopping if I would want to. I don't want to because I don't really like going shopping, but all of that stuff is a gift of recovery, because when I was in active addiction, if I did have money in my bank account, I damn sure wasn't going to go spend it at Walmart. I was going to go to the dope man's house. I would have never started my YouTube channel. I would never be a certified peer. I have so many things in my life right now that are gifts that I have got from my recovery that I would never have. I mean, I'm a 3-time convicted felon, and I have so many things in my life right now that I just, sometimes during the day, I just have to stop for just a minute. And for me, I just have to stop for just a minute and just say, thank you, God. Because for whatever reason, he kept me alive. And yeah, like I said, for me, I do believe in God. I believe that God is the only reason that I'm here. And no, I'm not going to preach about religion on my channel, because to each his own. Looking back, I can see, especially during my active addiction, especially during my childhood, there was something way bigger than me that kept me safe and kept me alive through all of that to get me to where I am today and for whatever my future holds. But I went through all of that, 14 years of active addiction, a 3-time convicted felon. I mean, growing up in that little bitty town that I grew up in. Now I'm a certified recovery peer, a certified peer recovery specialist. Now I'm a certified Narcan trainer, and I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it again, because honestly, it blows my mind that people call me and are like, hey, will you come in? They want me to come in and teach them how to reverse an overdose. People call me and are like, Jessica, can you come and help us? Or, so-and-so is ready to go and get help for their addiction. Can you come and help me talk to them? That's a massive gift of my recovery. And I could not have got here without something bigger than me. That is a massive gift of recovery to me. And that's in a roundabout way what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I was so excited to sit down and film because I didn't get to last week. But I had a ball. Like, I got to hang out with my dad and my mom all week. And yeah, we were packing and we were busting our butts. All of us were. But anytime I get to hang out with my dad and my mom, like, we are cracking up and cutting up and having fun. So my little brother and his wife came by and hung out, and they brought their little son with him. And he's a character. He's just a little fella, so he can run around, but he's not like a grown adult. He can't help us carry boxes or anything, but it was great to see him. So it was so overwhelming to me at points, like, to just turn around, to be doing something, packing boxes or moving boxes or whatever, and just turn around and, like, see Keith standing there with my dad and my little brother, or see my mom, holding my nephew and standing there with my sister-in-law, or see them all, everybody working together and everything. Because to me, I went for so long in my life with, uh, for the most part, just having me and Danielle. I didn't have a very close relationship with my dad, and I hate that. I hate that. So now that we have each other, my dad and I, now that we have each other, it just means so much to me. And, getting to see my little brother, now that I have all these family members in my life, sometimes it just, you guys, I'm sure you guys, somebody out there watching will know what I'm talking about. It just hits you at odd times. You'll be doing some mundane task and you just turn around and there's your family. And that is a gift of recovery that I wouldn't give up for fucking anything. I wouldn't give it up for anything. So if you're new in recovery and you're struggling, because I know that when you're new in recovery, that shit is hard. And if you're like new in recovery, I know that sometimes that just doesn't, you question it. And especially if you're doing it alone or if you don't have a lot of your family. There's so many good things about being in recovery. There's so many good things about it. And just hang in there, because as your life goes on and, your life changes as you're going down that path, you're going to have so many little things that you're going to look back on, or as it's happening, you're just going to realize it's just going to hit you and you're going to be like, holy crap, this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't be happening to me if I was in active addiction, or if I was so messed up that I couldn't be present and aware of what was going on. Hang in there, because it's so worth it, and I have multiple years of recovery. And every year I'm just more thankful that I have another year to add on to it. And sometimes it seems like it's been a very short time, since my active addiction. And sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a really long time. I don't know, last week when I just was given that opportunity to help my mom and dad in that big way, and I'm head over heels grateful for it. I'm head over heels grateful for the fact that my daughter picks up the phone and calls me all the time. I'm so grateful for the fact that, Keith's daughter reaches out to me when she needs things. I'm so grateful for the fact that I talk to his family and that they love me and accept me. And I'm so grateful, for just so many things. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because, a lot of times I come on here and like some of the stuff that I talk about is not so happy. And I thought about making a video and sharing this with you guys so many times last week. And I was like, I can't wait to like share it. I can't wait to go on my YouTube channel and share this with you guys, because I get to come on here and like share something happy and be like, look, you guys, like, it's fucking worth it. It is so worth it. And I know to some people out there, they're going to be like, oh, well, she got to help her parents move, like big whoop. But it's so much more than that. And I feel like I'm having trouble getting it out, but it's so much more than that, because it hasn't been too long ago that I would not have been offered that opportunity. And it just means so much to me. And not just being able to help my mom and dad move, like, yeah, that was awesome. And I'll never forget that, because like I said, I can remember from when I was little bitty, my mom always talking about wanting to have land, and she like wanted to move out of the state. I'm glad that she didn't do that, because that's a hell of a drive for me to go and see them. But I can always remember both of them just talking back and forth between themselves about wanting to own land and have their house on it. And I'm so glad that I got to be part of that dream and to help them, in that final stage of it and get it done. I'm like over the moon grateful that I got to be a part of that. I'm so happy that Keith and I were able to help them move their stuff. I'm just so grateful that I got to be part of it. And I know that had I been in active addiction, that the chances of me being there and actually being that helpful to them are a lot slimmer. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for the relationship that my daughter and I have now. I'm so grateful for the relationship that Keith and I have now. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that if I was still in active addiction, the life that I have now, the things that I have now, what I'm doing in my life now, and I'm not just talking about like the relationships that I have in my life with my family. I'm talking about this right here, this YouTube channel that I'm doing, the people that I'm helping, like the outreach stuff that I try to do and that I'm trying to, get bigger, and the more people that I'm trying to help. I wouldn't be doing all that stuff because I would just be concentrating on me and my addiction, and I wouldn't care about anything else. So all of that stuff to me falls under the category of a gift of recovery. And I cannot wait. If there's anybody out there watching right now that you're new in recovery, or you feel like you don't have any gifts of recovery yet, or however you want to, say it, I can't wait for you guys to start getting them, because it's a feeling like I can't explain. And I just can't wait for you guys to start having them, because they're fucking awesome. They're awesome. And before I just keep on rambling on about it, I'm going to go because I got some other stuff that I want to go and do for my mom and dad. I'm so glad to be back and to be filming a video for you guys. I should be able to have another one filmed, edited, and all that, and put up on Friday. But if I'm not going to be able to post a video on Friday, I will put up a thing on my community tab, I think is what it's called, and let you guys know. So I'll keep you posted. I promise I'll do better than what I did last week, because I just kept forgetting. I was too excited. I'm sorry. It happens. As always, you guys know the drill. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All my contact information is in my description box below, like always. If you need Narcan, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Send me an email. That's the quickest, easiest way that I'll see it, especially for Narcan. If you need to be trained in Narcan, same. Just shoot me an email. But really, if you send me a message on any of my social media, anything, I check my email more frequently than I do my social media messages, unless I'm expecting something. So you guys just hit me up if you need either one of those. If you need Narcan, or if you need to be trained in Narcan, I can get it done to you. It does not matter where you are. You don't have to be in the same state or the same area that I'm in. There's always a bunch of resources listed in my description box below, so you guys check those out too. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video and let me know if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and welcome to the family. I'm so glad to be back, you guys. I missed y'all. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.